What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Ayman Hassan. Who do we have today?
Abby Kelly.
It's Abs and Ames, back at it again.
We're back.
Okay, so we are in the midst of a global pandemic.
Yes, it is true.
This is a serious time
Yeah, it's true.
to,
You need to be prepared because it's gonna be a little different. Just one thing to say, we're talking about a list of things to get, but don't overshop.
yeah, don't hoard. Don't hoard things because you're actually robbing people that are at high risk, that need these things.
Yeah.
You don't need them. 60 gallons of milk, they're all gonna expire in 2 weeks. You don't need to do that.
No, and doing that has repercussions. Someone else wanted toilet paper, they now have to go to 3 different stores and they're engaging with people they normally wouldn't. That could cause spread. So,
The
don't do
spread
that.
never stops.
Unfortunately. So yeah, gradually build up your personal stores instead of all at once and be kind to your communities. And yeah, while social distancing, this is a time for us to work together.
Work together.
Okay.
That was probably too much touching even for us.
I know, I'm trying to only do elbow bumps. I'm
Yeah, I came in to hug her and she was like, yeah.
I was no hugs today. Later. Okay.
But anyway, guys, these are the top 10 items you should have
Yeah.
during a scary outbreak.
All right. And I'm gonna start, so get
Bye.
distance. So starting us off at number 10, have a phone or computer. So we are social creatures and you're likely watching this video on a phone or a computer. So you already have this item. And you know what that means? Use it. So we need a means of communicating with other people. Through technology, we have a means of connecting with people all around the world. We can use it to keep in touch with friends and family when we may not be able to see them. Social isolation is isolating. It's in the name. So make sure to schedule calls or video chats to keep in touch with the people you're close with. Texting, it's great and I love it, but a phone or video call has more dimension to it. You can hear the voice of who you're talking to through the phone and, the meeting comes through way clearer so you don't have all that text arguments. So if you can, use that technology. Keep in touch.
Coming in at number 9 is soap. Everyone out here just hoarding hand sanitizer is just stupid, you guys. Firstly, stop hoarding it because you're taking away from other people that are at a higher risk of dying from coronavirus, like the elderly population and people with existing health problems. And hand sanitizer isn't even the only thing you can use to kill the germs, people. Yes, 99% kill rate, I get it. But just washing your hands properly and thoroughly for 20 seconds will also kill the virus droplets on your hands, if any. Plus, if you self-quarantine, you actually fare better just using soap and water. So don't have a fit if you go to the grocery store and see no hand sanitizer. It's fake news, you're all good. Believe me, you will be good. Just wash your hands and do it thoroughly. Soap.
Alright, on to number 8, a thermometer to test temperature. So one way COVID-19 is showing up is fever and the other main symptom is a cough. It's possible to have the virus and also show little to no symptoms, so while you're isolating, it could develop into more if you didn't know you had it. But don't worry too much, just be prepared to monitor your health so you don't spread it or let it go on for too long before you get help or treat your symptoms. So having a thermometer is a good way to know sooner if you are at a higher temperature than normal. The regular is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. That, of course, can vary from person to person, but typically a person, if they're fighting some sort of infection or bug, they register above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. If you don't have access to a thermometer, the old-fashioned way is putting the back or front of your hand to your forehead, and that method is done best when using another person as a baseline for what the temperature should be. So, check your temp, know what's up.
Filling at number 7 slot is prescription medication. Now, if it's possible, it's heavily advised that you stock up on at least a month's supply of any prescription medication that you are on. But a lot of them have quantity limits though, so you may have to ask for an exception form and give it to your doctor, something along the lines of a global pandemic, and hopefully they'll give you more. Unless everyone's submitting that form, then we have an issue, which we probably do. Everyone's doing it. But this is extremely important, you guys, whether you need anxiety medication, high blood pressure meds, if you have asthma, stock up on your inhalers. You can also mail order your prescription if your pharmacy has run out, so there's definitely a will, there's definitely a way, so get on it, people.
On the note of prescriptions, at number 6 we have over-the-counter medications and other medical supplies. The Center for Disease Control recommends having medical supplies at home. They can be used to treat fevers and other symptoms that we can see with this and any other illness that you might come across. The CDC says most people will be able to recover from COVID-19 at home, so have those supplies on hand. If you develop mild symptoms and don't have those supplies on hand, try to set up a drop system with a friend. They grab the supplies and drop them off on your doorstep, and you send them money or a note of an IOU because an infected person shouldn't give another person cash. Too many points of contact. The fomites are a no-mite, you know what I'm saying? So now is not the time to push yourself if you're feeling sick or under the weather. If you feel sick, just rest. Treat your symptoms. Healthcare is going to be overwhelmed, so we all have to do our part.
Coming in at number 5 are dry goods. So there is a reason why I went to Metro the other day for groceries and the entire pasta and bean section was empty. Dry food items like oats, rice, pasta, etc. should be the foundation of your food stock if you do want to stock up on food. Don't be buying stuff that's going to expire on you so soon, like all the people I'm seeing stocking up on like gallons of milk. Like, dude, that is all going to expire in 2 weeks all at the same time. Let's do the maths, right? Dry foods last, and you should also stock up on canned food that contains liquid like tuna or tomatoes, for example. Intelligently buy, people. Don't just panic buy. Know what you're getting.
Talking about food, on to number 4, pet food. You aren't the only one eating in your house, and yeah, of course not all of you have pets, but for those who do, make sure you have enough food for your pet too. Sometimes if you're overwhelmed, you might forget something, just don't forget your pet's food. And obviously I'm not saying you need to get a ton of food, again, you don't need to hoard everything at once, but maybe next time get the jumbo bag instead of getting the regular size for your dog, maybe some extra kitty litter for the cat, bunch of pellets for the fish, frozen mice for the snake, which I think is what they eat. And also a quick side note too, if your pet requires outdoor exercise, don't worry about it. You can walk your dog as long as you stay away from the other people outside. 2 meters or 6 feet apart.
Filling at number 3 slot is water. I know this is a bit of an obvious one, but sometimes we tend to forget the most crucial, obvious things that we just wouldn't think twice about normally. Now, the US Department of Homeland Security suggested stocking up on at least 2 weeks worth of water, and thankfully the US is a place where most tap water is drinkable, so you don't really even have to panic buy all the bottles at the grocery stores, you are fine. But if you do live in a place where drinking water is not as easily accessible, then I really do advise you look into stocking up on a supply of water one way or another. Get your fix. Now, drinking water regularly is as helpful as washing your hands when trying to prevent yourself from contracting the virus. Say infected droplets do somehow end up in your mouth or on your lips, flushing them down with water so they get taken down to your stomach and killed by the hydrochloric acid there is the plan. That is the way forward, you guys. It's better the acid kills it before it goes down your lung passageway and infects you. Drink water, wash your hands. Boom.
On to number 2, get a household plan in case there is an outbreak in your community. Basically, if there is an outbreak and you need to stay at home for an extended period of time, have a plan. For instance, scheduling your time can be infinitely helpful in keeping the days from blending together and becoming just like a monotonous glob of time. And it'll help you from becoming a philosopher. But on a more serious note, there are other measures to take. The CDC released a guide of non-pharmaceutical interventions and their guide to get households ready during a pandemic flu, and also a specific guide for what they know so far about COVID-19. In review, plan ways to care for those who might be at a greater risk for serious complications. Make sure to talk to your neighbors about your plans on how you as a community are going to plan this. Also identify aid organizations in your community, create an emergency contact list, choose a room in your home that can be used to separate sick household members from those who are healthy, and other things like that. The full link will be down below. Get prepped. Know what's up.
And finally, at number 1 are mental health items, and I'm keeping it miscellaneous because I don't know which items work best for you, and your mental health is different for everyone. In this time, I genuinely urge you to self-quarantine yourself even if you're feeling completely fine. The more we contain this for the next 2 weeks, the quicker it'll go away, and what comes with self-quarantine? A lot of time to yourself. Alone. I've seen so many threads and tweets on Twitter talking about learning a new skill or a language or something during quarantine. Use the time productively, and that's totally valid if you want to do that, but you also don't have to do that. I was feeling so bad about myself because I was quarantined all weekend and I honestly didn't achieve much, and then I was like, dude, we are in the middle of a global pandemic. It is okay to not be productive during self-quarantine. Mentally relaxing and rejuvenating is also productive. So with that in mind, make sure you have items that make you feel at ease and make you feel better, whether that may be chocolate bars or Cheetos or a good book, I don't know. Try your best and be kind to yourself in the next few weeks, you guys. We are in this together, but apart, yet together. Social distancing.
And that is the list of the top 10 items you should have during a scary outbreak. Yeah.
Which we are going through right now, and this is completely factual, you guys. Do heed what we have said.
Yes. Yes, the CDC has released a lot of information, so for more detail, please go to that website, where you're including links below to our sources, and also check out the World Health Organization website and your local news and government. This is a time to use reliable sources for your information and to fact check what you are reading, watching, or listening to.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love listening to that. I was like, yeah.
I'm a journalism student, what can I say?
Either way, guys. So go on.
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, guys, stay safe, stay clean. I have been your host, Eamon Hassan.
And I've been Abby Kelly.
And we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Speaking of social distancing, hi.
Yeah,
We're closer together.
Yeah, this is too close.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Though if it's possible, it's heavily advised that you stock up on at least a month's worth.
I added a link to Good Housekeeping in the bottom and had a grocery list. I recommend it.
Now, dry goods last, and you should also stock up on canned foods like dry foods.
This is me distancing. Stay clean, kids. That's what Eamon's saying.
I'm so hungry. I feel like my stomach's gonna rumble.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, you're talking about like being productive, and
Yeah.
everyone's talking about how Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the plague. It's like, you're
I
not
saw that.
Shakespeare.
I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, maybe I should learn a new language. I was like, but I don't want to right now. I want to relax and sleep.
Exactly.